If I was only given 1 hour per day to go out and get my buyers from LinkedIn, I know exactly what I would do. In fact, I could probably guarantee myself 1 to 2 buyers every week that would pay me $5,000 each. The reason I say this with so much confidence is because I have been running my business on LinkedIn since 2017. I've been running it completely organically. If you want to see my credentials, you can check my LinkedIn profile right here. Now, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I would do in just 1 hour a day that would get me buyers coming to me and still making me 6 figures. So without any further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would just look at this entire game plan holistically. And I would put the goal of everything that I'm doing on LinkedIn is to simply book calls with qualified buyers. Nothing else matters other than booking calls with qualified buyers, because I know if I can get somebody on the phone who has enough money, who's interested in the problem that I can help them solve, they will pay top dollar to work with me. So now that I know that is the top goal of what I'm trying to reach, I would organize every single action to make that happen. First thing I would do is I would go onto my LinkedIn profile and put a link to book a call with me on my LinkedIn profile right away. So it would say, book a free one-on-one strategy session with Sarim right here. Put that link at the top of my profile. Now, this entire task would take me, maybe 5 minutes to do at max. The second thing I would do, as soon as my LinkedIn profile was taken care of, is I would go out and find my ideal buyers. Instead of wasting time, I would just go and look at groups, events, and other influencers on LinkedIn who have the audience that I'm trying to sell to. Because look, when you are adding new connections on LinkedIn, when you're trying to get new people aware of you and your services, they're going to fall into one of 3 categories. Either one, they're going to be unreceptive. Number 2, they're going to be neutral. Or number 3, they're going to be receptive. Now, the vast majority of people are not going to be receptive at the first time they meet you. It's very unlikely that someone just sees you for the first time and is like, here's $5,000, I'll sign up for your services. That's not going to happen. But also, there's a lot of people who are going to be unreceptive, meaning that no matter what you say or what you do, they're never going to buy from you because either they don't have the problem that you're solving or that they're not interested in any way of working with you yet because not enough trust has been established. The best kind of people you want to be adding as connections are the people who fall into that neutral category. The people who look at you and say, okay, well, yes, I am currently struggling in my career, or I am currently struggling in my business or health, and I'm kind of open to the idea of just seeing what's out there. That's someone in a neutral category. Your job then is to go out and find those people. So that's exactly what I would do. I would go out and find all of those people. Like I said, I would go to groups, maybe events, and influencers would be a big one. So let's say I was a life coach, hypothetically, right? I would go to Tony Robbins' LinkedIn page and go and see, okay, who's liking and commenting on Tony Robbins' post? Because right then and there, I know if they're following Tony Robbins, if they're taking his advice, they're obviously into the world of life coaching. They're obviously looking for some kind of support if they're looking up to him. Now, this will give me a good audience of people in that neutral state that I can bring into my network. Again, I would go in and add probably 20 or 30 people per day. Now, this would literally take me about 15 minutes. Go to Tony's profile, click on that, go through a bunch of his content, find people, add, done. Wouldn't take that long. So now we're still only at 20 minutes and I've already created a funnel on my LinkedIn profile and found my buyers. The next thing I would do is I would publish content. Now, the content that I would be publishing is not your typical value post saying, here's 5 ways to beat stress. I would not do that. I think that's a complete waste of time. Instead, what I would do is create content about me, because remember this phrase forever. People do not invest in coaching. They invest into the coach, which means that they don't care about your information as much as they care about you, right? Remember this as well. People do not like to be told what to do, but they love to hear about how you did it. So I would create content on just that, talking about my experiences. I would talk about how I overcame doubt, how I overcame insecurities, how I overcame whatever. And this would get people to resonate with me because these would be true stories about me that people would read and say, oh, wow, this guy Sarim, he went through the same problems I went through, and now he's helping other people get past that. I can't thank him enough. This is someone I'm going to want to connect with, right? And I would publish content every day like this. Now, what I would do as well is for 50% of the posts I'm making, I would put some kind of call to action at the end of the post saying, P.S. If you're currently going through a battle right now and you don't know how to move to the next step, do not worry. I got your back. We can have a one-on-one call where I will create a full game plan to get you from where you are to where you want to be as quickly as possible. This call is absolutely free. and I can give you the full guidance on it. And I would make this call to action, like I said, on about 50% of my posts. Again, this entire activity of creating content would be what, 20 minutes maybe to create that post, publish it, share it out at max. So now let's just add up the numbers. We spent 5 minutes creating the funnel for people to book a call with us to learn about our services. We've already located our buyers, which was another 15 minutes. Then we published content, which was 20 minutes. So we're at 25, 15. That's 40 minutes. So we still have 20 minutes to spare. Now with this remaining 20 minutes, what I would do is I would go into the inbox and I would start having conversations with people who showed interest in me. This doesn't mean they've reached out to me asking about my services. Again, they're probably just in a neutral state. If they've seen a bit of my content, maybe they're moving slightly towards receptive. But what I would do is I would go look in 3 places. I would go look at the people who viewed my profile. You can go and see that on LinkedIn, who's viewed your profile. I would go look at the people who liked my post, and I would go look at the people who've been commenting on my posts. And I would reach out to each one of them. The people who viewed my profile, I would reach out to them and say something like, hey, Joe, I saw you checked out my profile. What in particular were you looking for? I'd be happy to point you in the right direction. For the people who engage with my content, I'd say, hey, Joe, I appreciate you engaging with my content recently. Is there anything in particular you're currently going through right now? I'd be happy to point you in the right direction. Do you see how this single message can direct someone from being neutral to very receptive? The reason it works so well is because I'm not cold messaging random people who don't know me. That is a recipe for disaster. All I'm doing is, from the very beginning, I added new connections that came from a warmer audience, people who were already receptive to the topic of life coaching in this example. Then I created content that related to the problems that they were dealing with. And then I only reached out to them if they took a step into my ecosystem by liking, commenting on my posts, viewing my profile. So every step of the way, it's just getting warmer and warmer and warmer. Then when I'm in the inbox, I can make an offer for a call and say, hey, look, if you'd like, we can get on a one-on-one call. I can help you out with where you're going at right now, what you're dealing with, where you want to go. And if it's the right fit, I'll tell you about my program and how we can work together. Right? I'm being direct, I'm being honest, and these people appreciate it too. And I would be able to do all of this in just 1 hour a day. And if I do this, and let's say I was able to only book 2 calls a day, just doing that, just in 1 hour, I book only 2 calls a day. If I do that Monday to Friday, that's 10 calls in a week. If I close at a 25% rate, which is below average, I actually close at about a 35% rate. But if I close at a 25% rate and I book 10 calls, that's 2 to 3 new clients purchasing from me every single week. And if my price is $5,000, that's anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000 a week. So the reason I'm emphasizing this so much is because I want to tell you, it doesn't matter if you're working a full-time job, if you're working a part-time job, you can run a 6-figure business on LinkedIn if you do the activities right. It's just about figuring out what to do specifically, where your buyers are, creating the right kind of offer, getting these people to believe in you, getting them on a call, and then closing the deal. That's all it takes. And that was the purpose of this video. If I can get clients in an hour, you can get clients in 2 hours a day, right? Even if it takes you a bit longer, I just wanted you to see the principle of what is possible if you do the correct activities. So I'm telling you, go out, build a 6-figure business for yourself on LinkedIn, do the right activities. And if you want to just speed up the process entirely and you want to speak to me one-on-one to see how I can help you grow a 6-figure business on LinkedIn, then just book a call with me. I have my link in the description below. It's a calendar link. You can click on that link and it's a one-on-one game plan session with me where I'm going to help you. I'll literally help you from where you are to where you want to go. I'll create an entire game plan with you on this call, totally free. And then if I feel I can help you even more, I'll tell you about my program. I'll tell you about how we can work together, but no obligation there whatsoever. The goal here is just to help you. So if you want to take advantage of that call, just click on the link below, book that call, and we'll talk soon. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.